I'm Julie. I'm just going to do a short little stretch video. Okay, so first of all, you don't need to have this, but if you have trouble with balance or you just want to have something to hold on to, you can get like a sturdy chair or a stool or something your cat could get on, whatever's good for you. All right, so we're just going to start. I'm going to do the stool so people who want to have that will have it by themselves. And we'll just start with our head. We'll just tilt our head one way and then the other way. So down and down the other way. And now we're going to do is we're going to go down and then we're going to roll in front and then up to you're looking straight ahead, and then the other way, down and up and the other way. And you don't need to be holding on. It's up to you. Okay, you should feel free to do that. The other way is, another thing to do is just look left and right. So you look one way, look center, the other way. You often can just feel these little creaky sounds in your neck, etc. All right, so we're just getting our head a little bit warmed up. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is if you want, you could hold a stool and put your arm overhead and just stretch down. And if you don't need a stool, you just do it without the stool. Okay? So hold the stool, and then we're going to go, still holding it, lean the other way. So that'll be 2. And the other way, if you need to hold on to a chair or something, go ahead and do that. You can just do this like maybe 4 times. And then you can switch into the other side without a stool. I'm going to do it without this time. So I'm going over, and then back the other way. Over, and back the other way. And then over. And if you don't want to go all the way the other way, you could just do the standing position, etc. And one of my favorite ones is like you're holding a great big beach ball. And first I'm going to show you how to do it without the stool. Okay? So if you're feeling comfortable, so you put the big ball like over your head, and then you lean to one side, and it's like you slowly move around to the front, over to the other side, and then you twist up, and you're back to center. Now if you're doing it with a stool, what you could do is you could just hold here, and then go forward, and then just go straight up, okay? So you just go over, and then forward, and then straight up, because you're having to hold on. So either way, it's as if you feel comfortable without a stool. And I love this stretch, it feels so good. Around my waist. All right, now we're going to do the other side. So again, if you have a stool or a chair, something sturdy here, you just lean over and then a little to the other side, however far it feels comfortable. Or what I do is I go around in the circle. I think I go in the opposite direction now, right? Okay, so 2 things. So maybe you do about 5 on each side, either with or without the stool, either just up and down or with a big ball. Okay, next would just be shoulder rolls. And you could do this with or without. I'm going to take my cat thing this time, so if you're holding on to it, you might just do one shoulder at a time, forward and back. If you don't need it, you could do both shoulders. You're going back, both shoulders, it's faster if you do 2 at once. And if you are holding on to something, you would switch sides now. And you could just do the other shoulder. Otherwise, you could just go forward with both arms at the same time, a few times. Next one is you're going to just put your right arm or your left arm in front of you and just kind of pull it with your other hand. That's a nice shoulder stretch. And then you lift up your elbow behind your head, put your hand, and you go down. Pull down with your hand. And then you just do the other side. You first go in front with your arm, and you pull it up, and you go down with your arm. And that feels really good, really, in this part of your arm when you're doing that. Okay. Now, if you know a little about yoga, you might know the tree pose. So if you don't know yoga, and especially if you want to hold on to something, what you're doing is you're going to have your weight on one foot, and you try to pick up your foot and push it into your thigh here, or you could hold it if that's easier. And if you can't go up this far, actually you can go below the knee. It's kind of a balancing thing. I like to go up here. So this is the tree pose, and just hold it here. Now, if you're holding on to this, that's fine. Okay, but if you want to get more balance, you can put one arm up in the air. Okay. And if you have very good balance, you're not worried, then you could put both hands up at the air, and then you're just going to hold this either way. So you're either just holding on to the stool or the chair, or something sturdy, can't be moved away easily, with either one arm up or no arms up, or you're just holding all by yourself without any stool, like I'm doing right now. And I'm going to put my hand on the stool again, down my foot, and do it on the other side. So it's up to you if you want to hold on to the stool to get started. If you don't need the stool, just see if you could do it. Now, it's hard for me, actually. I don't do this often enough, but I love the pose. And again, you can instead just put your foot all the way down at your heel. Just, you could even have your foot touching the floor and do this, but your knee is turned out, basically. Okay? I like having it all the way up, and then I have to push really hard to keep it from sliding down. And if you want, you can put your arms up if you're holding onto a stool. One leg is always easier than the other. When I'm on my right foot, which I'm on right now, that's harder for me. It's easier for me on my left foot to do my balance. But here I am. And there is my tree pose. And you could hold this for as long as you want. I like doing 30 seconds or sometimes a minute just in a day, but that's really up to you. So that's the tree pose. Okay. Another good thing is just to do squats. Now, you can either do squats by just putting your hands on your hips if you don't need any support. And it's like you're going to be sitting down. It's like you feel like you're sitting down. So you're bending forward and your butt's going out and back, and you go up and down. That's it. You put your legs out a little bit further. Sometimes that's easier. And you're just going down and up. If you're doing it with a stool, you do the same thing, it's just that you're holding on. So you're just going down and up, and you're doing a few of these. And of these a bunch of times. You don't need to do everything a bunch of times. Okay, what else did I have here? Now, so you're just a little bit more, not really aerobics, you're just going to march very slowly. Now, if you're holding onto the chair, you just go up, up on the other way, up on the other way. And if you want, you can keep your arm up in the air, there's just something else to do, or go up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And if you don't need the stool, just go up, march, march. Do 10, 20, 30 of these, however many feels good. Either sitting, with your hand on the stool or chair or not, whatever is good for you. And, this is another one I love. This is a really good stretch I love. If you hold on to a stool or a chair in front of you, top of the chair, and what you're going to do is stand on one leg and put the other leg behind you. And if you want, if you have a stool, I like this, is you can just put your arms down here and hold it. Okay? And it's a really good stretch on the leg that you're standing on. That's where I feel the stretch the most. So on the side, this looks like my leg's just going straight out behind me. You can try to lift it up higher if you want. You keep your standing leg straight. I'm going to do it at the side. And if you don't need the stool, a yoga pose is to put your arms out to the side. So if you want, you can put one arm out to the side, both arms on the stool, the other arm out to the side, or really good balance, you just put both arms out to the side. All right, and then just do the same thing with the other foot. The other leg, you stretch the other leg straight out behind you, and you can just stay like this. Or you could put one arm out to the side, or the other arm out to the side. You want to test your balance. Or you could try to put both arms out to the side, and you're flying, but you have this in front of you. So I'd suggest for most people, unless you have a really good balance, you have that in front of you. Your legs up. I love that stretch. Feels really, really good. And I guess that's about 11 minutes. I meant to make it 5. Okay, so just some nice stretches to get you going.